The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 remains one of modern aviation's most profound and perplexing mysteries. On March 8, 2014, the Boeing 777 aircraft, with 239 souls on board, vanished from radar screens. It was en route from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. Instead, it became the subject of an unprecedented global search effort. The lack of definitive answers has fueled speculation and countless theories. The world watched, waited, and wondered what could have happened to such a large modern airliner. More than a decade later, the fate of Flight MH370 is still unknown. The search has spanned vast oceans and involved multiple countries. Sophisticated technology has been deployed, yet the main wreckage of the aircraft has never been found. This absence of physical evidence has made it incredibly difficult to determine the cause of the disappearance. Investigators, aviation experts, and the families of those on board continue to seek closure. The initial hours after the plane lost contact were filled with confusion. Air traffic controllers in Malaysia and Vietnam struggled to locate the aircraft. The search quickly expanded from the South China Sea to the Strait of Malacca, and eventually to the remote southern Indian Ocean. The scale of the challenge was immense. The story of MH370 is not just about a missing plane, it is about the 239 lives lost, and the enduring pain of their families. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 was a Boeing 777-200ER aircraft. It departed from Kuala Lumpur International Airport on March 8, 2014, at 00:41 local time. Its destination was Beijing Capital International Airport. The flight was carrying 227 passengers, including 5 infants and 12 crew members. The people on board represented a multitude of nationalities. The majority were Chinese citizens, over 150 individuals. The flight was under the command of Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, an experienced pilot. The last verbal communication from the cockpit occurred at 01:19 local time. The message was, "Good night Malaysian 370. Shortly after this, the aircraft's transponder, which communicates its identity and altitude to ground radar, was switched off. Military radar continued to track an unidentified aircraft for about another hour. This aircraft's flight path was consistent with MH370, making a sharp turn back to the west. It flew across peninsular Malaysia, then headed northwest over the Strait of Malacca and into the Andaman Sea. The final primary radar contact was made at 02:22 local time, west of Phuket, Thailand. Subsequent analysis of satellite communications data provided crucial, albeit limited, clues. Based on the timing and angle of these signals, investigators determined that the aircraft likely flew south into the remote southern Indian Ocean. The initial search and rescue operations for Flight MH370 began in the South China Sea. Malaysia and Vietnam led these early efforts. However, as information emerged about the plane's westward turn, the search area was expanded. It soon encompassed the Strait of Malacca and the Andaman Sea. The lack of concrete data in the early stages meant that search teams were looking over enormous stretches of water. Many nations contributed aircraft and ships to these early searches, demonstrating a global concern. As satellite data analysis pointed towards the southern Indian Ocean, the focus of the search shifted dramatically. This new area was incredibly remote, far from any landmasses. The Australian Maritime Safety Authority took charge of coordinating the search in this vast expanse of ocean. The logistical challenges were immense. Aircraft had to fly for hours just to reach the search zone, limiting their on-site search time. Weather conditions in the southern Indian Ocean are notoriously harsh, further complicating operations. Despite extensive efforts, the main wreckage of MH370 was not found. Only a few pieces of debris, confirmed or believed to be from the aircraft, washed up on distant coastlines. In January 2017, the governments of Malaysia, Australia, and China announced the suspension of this underwater search, acknowledging the lack of new credible evidence to pinpoint a specific location. Following the suspension of the government-led search, a private American marine robotics company, Ocean Infinity, stepped forward. In early 2018, Ocean Infinity undertook a new search for MH370. This search was conducted on a no-find, no-fee basis. Ocean Infinity deployed a highly advanced vessel, the Seabed Constructor, equipped with a fleet of autonomous underwater vehicles. Despite covering over 112,000 square kilometers of the ocean floor during its 2018 search, Ocean Infinity was also unsuccessful in locating the wreckage. The search concluded in mid-2018 without finding the aircraft. In December 2024, the Malaysian government announced it had reached an agreement with Ocean Infinity to resume the hunt for MH370. The new search, which commenced in early 2025, is also being conducted on a no-find, no-fee basis. If Ocean Infinity finds substantive wreckage of the aircraft within an 18-month period, the company will receive up to $70 million. Ocean Infinity plans to search a new area of approximately 5,800 square miles on the seabed of the southern Indian Ocean. However, in April 2025, Malaysia's Transport Minister Anthony Loke announced a temporary suspension of this latest search. The search is expected to resume towards the end of 2025 when conditions become more conducive for deep-sea exploration. The official investigation into Flight MH370's disappearance was led by Malaysia with international experts. A 495-page report was released in July 2018. It detailed known facts but couldn't determine the cause. The aircraft's course was manually changed. This wasn't due to autopilot malfunction. It pointed to deliberate action. Air traffic control failures were highlighted. Delays in emergency procedures were noted. The aircraft likely ended in the southern Indian Ocean. The responsible party remains unknown. While the main wreckage of Flight MH370 remains elusive, several pieces of debris, either confirmed or highly likely to be from the aircraft, have washed ashore. In July 2015, a piece of aircraft wing component, known as a flaperon, was found on Reunion Island, a French territory in the western Indian Ocean. This was a significant breakthrough. French authorities, along with Malaysian investigators, examined the flaperon. Serial numbers and maintenance records confirmed that it originated from the missing Boeing 777-9 MMRO. Following the discovery of the flaperon, numerous other items of debris washed up on the coastlines of East Africa and nearby islands. Pieces were found in Mozambique, Tanzania, Mauritius, Madagascar, and South Africa. These items included parts of the aircraft cabin interior, engine cowlings, and other wing fragments. The discovery of debris helped to validate and refine oceanographic drift models. While the debris confirmed the plane's fate, it offered limited clues about the cause of the crash or the precise location of the main wreckage field on the seabed. The condition of the flaperon suggested it was likely extended at the time of impact, which could imply a controlled descent or ditching attempt. For the families, each piece of debris was a painful reminder of their loss, yet also a small step towards understanding what happened. The disappearance of Flight MH370 has inflicted an immeasurable emotional toll on the families of the 239 passengers and crew members. For over a decade, these families have lived in a state of agonizing uncertainty. The lack of definitive answers about the fate of their loved ones has compounded their grief. Many have struggled to find closure, caught between hope and despair. Throughout the years, these families have consistently advocated for the continuation of search efforts. They have urged governments and authorities not to give up on finding the aircraft and providing explanations. On significant anniversaries, family members have gathered to commemorate their loved ones and to publicly reiterate their demands for truth and accountability. Many relatives have expressed frustration with the pace and transparency of the investigation and search efforts. Beyond the emotional anguish, families have also faced practical and financial challenges. The families seek not only financial redress but also an acknowledgement of responsibility where failings may have occurred. The mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 haunts the world, more than 11 years after its disappearance. The core question of what happened to the Boeing 777 and the 239 people on board remains unanswered. Finding the main fuselage and the flight data recorders is crucial to uncovering the truth. These devices hold the key to understanding the aircraft's final moments. The implications extend beyond the immense grief of the families. If the cause is never determined, potential safety lessons may go unlearned. Understanding the root cause is vital for preventing similar tragedies. Malaysia's Transport Minister has reiterated the government's commitment. He hopes the resumed search by Ocean Infinity will yield a positive outcome. The search is a testament to human perseverance and technology. The drive to find MH370 is fueled by a need for closure and understanding. the lingering question of MH370 demands an answer for all who travel by air.